From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
Gentlemen, and welcome inside of the Fantasy Dome for this week's episode of FWE Fantasy Wrestling Entertainment. Less than a month away from the Bash at Tatooine PLE. I'm Seth Cole. I'll soon be joined by broadcast colleague Jack Mitchell as he's in action here tonight. But how about this main event, folks? Jasmine, her status inside the Disney Queens hangs by a thread, but she's got an opportunity tonight to take the women's Rock to the Hardcore Championship title away from Autumn Brooks. And as mentioned, Jack in action tonight as some number one contenders get ready to take on some champions looking forward to Bash at Tatooine. It was this past Saturday night after an incredible TLC main event between Elmo and Carson Gum. We saw Carson retain the title. My colleague Jack Mitchell jumped up on the table immediately afterwards, grabbed a microphone, and declared that at the Bash at Tatooine PLE, he is invoking his long-held title rematch clause for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Carson Gum, Jack Mitchell will fight it out. Mitchell looking to be a two-time holder of that belt later on this month. The first title Jack Mitchell ever won here in FWE. He would go on eventually to win the Tri-Wizard Championship as well, holding both belts at the same time. He would lose the Cruiserweight title at Mortal Kombat inside of Elimination Chamber. He's had that title rematch in his hip pocket for months now, finally invoking it at the upcoming PLE. Interesting scenario here is Jack Mitchell getting ready to tag with an individual that just 1 week ago he was in a triple threat match with to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
And his partner from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 163 pounds, Carlos Z.
Carlos Zimmerman as mentioned, won that triple threat match against Jack Mitchell and Levi McIntyre last Thursday night. He will face Dylan Poteet for the Intercontinental Championship at the Bash at Tatooine PLE. Poteet currently at a 41-day reign with that title. It is the second time that Carlos Zimmerman will be battling for said belt. First time, that fatal four-way back at the biggest stage of them all at Paramount. One would certainly have to wonder, just 5 days removed from that grueling TLC match, what kind of physical condition is the Wayfinder Cruiser Champion in? Fortunately tonight he will have the opportunity to tag in and out, have a tag partner, but certainly cannot be at 100%. Carson, a two-time Wayfinder Cruiser champion. A little bit of hot potato with that belt between himself and Elmo in their latest feud. Carson in his second reign tonight, 18 days as Wayfinder Cruiser champion.
Weighing in at 220 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Justin Dillon.
How about we talk about wars? How about the battle that Dylan Poteet was in against Hades back at the Guardians of the Ring PLE? A barn burner of a match, many arguing that maybe should have been the main event of the PLE. It was that good. Again, much like Carson Gum, not that long ago that Poteet was in that fight, just 2 weeks ago. What kind of physical... I lost the word I was trying to figure out here, but how is he physically in this matchup? I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. Both the champions, you got to think, coming into this matchup, maybe at a little bit of a deficit, is starting things out right here. A little preview of what's to come at Bash at Tatooine as Mitchell with the cover on Carson Gum, and Poteet quickly going to break that up. Big shot there to the gut, that midsection. Massive clothesline going to drop Carson down to the mat. Carson Irish whipped into the corner. Tag here to Carlos. Again, so interesting to watch these two working together here tonight when just 1 week ago, they along with Levi McIntyre were fighting it out in a triple threat. But we heard Jack say after that matchup has a tremendous amount of respect for both Carlos and Levi, so maybe putting aside that, I mean, both of them now #1 contendership, 4 titles at the Bash at Tatooine PLE, May 21st. As Carson with a big clothesline there to Carlos Zimmerman. A little bit of a lockup here between a couple of Texas boys. And now the tag into Poteet, and now we get a preview of the IC title match. We'll have it Bash at Tatooine. Champion versus challenger. Cover in here by Poteet off the springboard moonsault. Only a 1 count as Carlos going to get that right shoulder up quickly. Plenty still in the tank in the early going of this matchup. Dylan Poteet up to the top. Thought he might be going for that senton, but instead a beautiful suspended moonsault. Cover in here on Carlos, and Jack Mitchell going to make sure that that doesn't even reach anywhere close to a 1 count. Breaks it up in the early going. Poteet out to the outside. Setting up for something here off the ropes. Hurricane Rana takes down Zimmerman. And now Zimmerman finds himself in the wrong part of town as Poteet with the tag into Gum. Little double team here. Massive back body drop. Big bad landing there for Zimmerman. Carson not able to follow up with the elbow. Scoop power slam there though by Carson Gum. We talked about the deceptive power of the Wayfinder Cruiser champion. And now Zimmerman with the tag to Mitchell, I believe was going for a springboard cutter. Did not find its mark. Now it's Mitchell in a bad way. Samoan drop there by Carson Gum. And now clotheslines Mitchell up over the top rope and out to the floor. Shot there to Carlos. Oh, and it's the early going of the night, but I guess it's not too early to use the most overused move in fantasy wrestling entertainment. And surprisingly, Mitchell kind of let that happen there. Now going to use the distraction with a shot from behind. Misses the Superman punch. Gum able to duck that, and now tag into Poteet. Another back body drop, but this time Mitchell on the receiving end. And Poteet going to go in for the cover here on Mitchell, only a 1 count. Shot to the gut. Poteet has Mitchell up in powerbomb position, and the sit-down powerbomb connects. Less than a month away from Bash and Tatooine. That, of course, is going to set us up for Combat Evolved. Big matchups here tonight. We've already told you about our main event, Women's Hardcore Championship on the line. Jasmine taking on the champion Autumn Brooks. Kind of a last-ditch effort to remain in the Disney Queens, show that she can still be a part of the faction, can be successful, bring gold to that group. As Mitchell with a shot to the midsection and an X Factor. Cover is in on the Intercontinental Championship, I should say, and Carson Gum going to break that up. Also to come here tonight, couple of friendly rivals, I guess you could say. The current Tri-Wizard champion, RJ Bishop, will be in action. He takes on the former 3-time Tri-Wizard champion in Dylan Young. And I'm being told immediately following this, another open challenge by Mulan. Another knockout match for the Female Fighting Championship. We'll have to see who answers the call in that one. With a nice back elbow there to Dylan Poteet. Oh, but Poteet answers with a high knee. Cover in on Zimmerman. And Mitchell gonna break it up, and I think he may have gotten Ernest right in the process. The referee is currently down. And Poteet up to the top rope, might be thinking the Swanton bomb here. No, instead, another top rope Hurricane Rana. As referee Ernest Wright to his feet, so if Poteet had gone for a cover, at least there would have been a 3 count. This new era of FWE has not necessarily been all that kind to Ernest Wright. That's about the 3rd or 4th bump that he's taken. Now Zimmerman with a shot there to the side of the head of Carson Gum, and now where is he going? Springboard senton of his own. Oh, nice suplex there by Zimmerman, almost a modified angle slamming away. Now tags Mitchell in as Carson back flat on the mat here, trying to recover from that suplex. Mitchell to the outside, ushering Carson to his feet. And this time, the springboard forearm will connect. Carson with the emergency tag to Poteet. Zimmerman's back in for his team as well. Poteet went for a drop kick. Nice avoidance by Zimmerman. Shot to the back. And then one to the gut, right to the midsection. Oh, nice ripcord clothesline by Zimmerman. Turns Poteet inside out. Again, one would have to wonder if the champions win this match, if the number one contenders win this match, what does that do for momentum going into Bash at Tatooine in the respective title matches? The Intercontinental Championship and the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. As the action now to the outside, referee on his strike, going to begin the 10 count here. Zimmerman, big knee right up under the jaw, maybe to the side of the head of Poteet. Reversal by Poteet as he'll deposit Zimmerman back in between the ropes. Another shot to the gut there by Carlos. Big right hand. Drops Poteet down to a knee, and that forearm will take him all the way down to the canvas. Irish whipped into the ropes. Tag into Mitchell. And again, focusing on that midsection area with another big shot. Oh, but Poteet, kick to the gut, looking for a roll-up here, has the arms grapevined, and Mitchell able to sneak out before referee's hand even came down for one. Now Poteet, tilt-a-whirl, head scissors takedown. Another Hurricane Rana. Instead of going to stay on Mitchell, he's going to make the tag over to Carson. Oh, Mitchell! Pop-up Hurricane Rana of his own to the Wayfinder Cruiser Champion. Back elbow, Carson able to fight out of enemy territory. And now backbreaker. Right across the knee, now just stretching out Mitchell. Shot to the midsection now, gonna lift up Mitchell. Power bomb position. Oh man, bad landing there for Mitchell. And Carson gonna make the tag here to Poteet. A couple of times here where it's looked like someone could go in for a cover and they've decided not to. As Poteet now gonna go for a second power bomb here potentially. No, instead, Snake Eyes in the corner. Mitchell's head bouncing right off of that top turnbuckle. And then a basement drop kick in the corner. Zimmerman wanted the tag, he's gonna get it. Poteet was looking for something on the outside. Now has to focus his attention on his future opponent at Bash at Tatooine. Nice job there by Poteet. Eventually releasing that Hurricane Rana. Oh, and Poteet kind of took his eye off the ball there for a moment. Thought Mitchell was going to get involved, focused his attention on Jack. That's going to give Zimmerman a little bit of time to recover here. Oh my gosh! And recover he did. Massive Superman punch, and now setting Poteet up for that patented reverse GTS. He'll score it. Cover is in. Zimmerman. Oh, if he had gotten that victory, that would have been huge going into that title match between himself and Poteet at Bash at Tatooine, but Carson Gum did not allow it. And now Mitchell off the tag with the springboard moonsault. Now focusing on the leg of Poteet. Mentioned about the battles that both Poteet and Carson Gum have been in the last couple of weeks. You got to think, if you're the number one contenders, you've watched the tapes, you've observed the film, you've got an idea of where to strike, where to target, what body parts are priority number one here in this matchup, maybe to give yourself an advantage going into your title matches. As That moonsault did not score. Big boot there by Poteet. Drops Mitchell. Cover in and a kick out at 1. This matchup has gone on for a while, but a kick out at 1 shows there is still plenty in the tank if this thing enters into the extra innings, as we call it.
That's a good tag.
Tag back in by Poteet on Carson Gum. Carson up to the top rope. A little assistance with a flying shoulder tackle. And now Mitchell going to roll to the outside for a little bit of reprieve. Carson, I think, realized that. Immediately ran over to the other side of the ring to deliver the elbow. Not going to let up the pressure. Oh, and now Mitchell, whoa! This time he'll score with the spinning heel kick. The first time, Carson was kind of slumped over, so Mitchell missed his mark. That time, the second time around, he got it. Referee at a count of 7. Mitchell back into the ring. Carson will do so as well. Oh, and now a double leg takedown. Roll up here by Carson, trying to pick up a quick one here. Mitchell with the reversal. Cover in by the #1 contender. Reversal again, and another reversal. Referee Ernest Wright making sure the shoulders are down, only a 1 count on those last couple of exchanges. And now after the shoulder tackle by Carson Gum, hoisting up into a bench press position, Mitchell high into the air, and a bad landing, gut first, chest first, down into the mat. Tag into Poteet. Irish whipped off the ropes. Hurricane Rana into a pinning predicament, and Zimmerman right there to break it up. Tag into Carson Gum as Mitchell trying to get back to his feet. Shot to the midsection. Stiff kicks. Nice suspended suplex there by Mitchell. And now he'll make the tag into Zimmerman. Been good frequent tags between these two teams. To my knowledge, these duos have never teamed up before. You wouldn't think that was the case. Been some good chemistry on both sides of the ring. As Poteet gonna save Carson there. Another tag, this time Mitchell back in. Bring Carson up to his feet. Carson with the reversal, off the ropes. Big back elbow. And again, Mitchell rolls to the outside for a little recovery time. Legal participant Poteet gonna follow him out. Oh, go behind here, maybe thinking vertebreaker on the outside of the ring. Remember the days when we would cringe of Hades doing the tombstone on the outside? The vertebreaker is as bad, if maybe not worse, that impact the upper head neck region. But Mitchell somehow back to his feet as a referee at a count of 7, both men back inside of the ring. I'm not sure how Mitchell is conscious at the moment, to be honest. We've seen the vertebreaker before, but never on the outside, and we keep talking about it. That outside, there's a padding there, but it's maybe about an inch thick. It does nothing to pad any of the impact to the concrete floor underneath. Now Zimmerman in control of Poteet. Oh, shot to the leg. Oh, wow, double stomp there in the corner. Oh, look to follow it up with a springboard moonsault and missed. Poteet trying to crawl over, get a tag to Carson Gum, and Zimmerman's gonna cut him off at the pass. Oh, was looking for some type of a neck breaker there. Poteet was able to sidestep, get out of the way, and now modified Falcon Arrow to Zimmerman. Thought Poteet might be thinking about going up to the top rope there. Instead, keeping the pressure on Zimmerman, go behind, back elbow, fights out of it to Zimmerman, and he'll score with the springboard dropkick. Cover in here by Zimmerman on Poteet, and is that enough? Oh, it almost was. Referee's hand was coming down for 3. Poteet just barely got the shoulder up. Zimmerman couldn't believe it. And now this may be right hands out of frustration than anything else. Another springboard moonsault. Goes for the cover again. And this time Carson Gumb's going to go in to break it up. And again, I think Ernest Wright may have been caught in the crossfire. This time the neck breaker connects for Zimmerman. Oh! And again, referee Ernest Wright had the full body weight of Zimmerman coming down on top of him as he looked to recover from the earlier contact with Carson Gumb.
That's a good tag.
And now Carson gets the tag. Late into this matchup, I don't know if you want to be showboating if you're the Wayfinder Cruiser champion. You can see he was looking right in the direction of his future opponent, Jack Mitchell. Top rope splash does not connect. Now Zimmerman takes advantage of that mistake by Carson. Tag into Mitchell. Mitchell with a couple of big shots there to Carson Gumb. Springboard, forearm, connects, drops the champion. Cover is in by Mitchell. And that's gonna be enough. Mitchell is gonna pick up a pinfall victory over the man he will face at Bash at Tatooine. Score 1 for the number 1 contenders. Zimmerman, Mitchell stand tall. Will that be the case for the both of them at the PLE as they fight for their respective titles? Up next, open challenge for the Female Fighting Championship.
You wanted to see me, Commissioner?
Yes, William, please come in. Listen, buddy, I really apologize. I have been completely out straight with organizing this Guardians of the Ring tournament, but now that it's in the rearview mirror, let me have the opportunity of congratulating you on winning the Power Up briefcase and having that guaranteed title shot whenever you want here within the next year. Very well deserved.
Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I got to admit, going into that ladder match, I felt like the biggest underdog. Like, maybe I didn't even belong there, but hey, amazing things happen, and I've got the briefcase now, and you can bet I've got myself focused on all these titles here in FWE, seeing if there's ever an opportunity to cash this baby in.
Not at all, not at all. And also, my congratulations is twofold because I actually also have the privilege of saying that you are the new number 1 contender for the United States Championship after you got that submission victory on Matt McIntyre. So when would you like to have that title shot for the U.S. Championship?
Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. The only problem is the United States title is not really my focus at the moment, or more specifically, mine and my tag team partner Jack Sparrow's focus.
Wait, I'm having a hard time understanding this. Are you telling me that you don't want the shot at the United States Championship?
No, sir, I'm not necessarily saying that. I still want to take gold away from the family. I still want to destroy them from the inside, but maybe more so than Matt McIntyre, our focus, the Black Pearl Crew's focus, is on those tag team titles. You see, Jack and I, we failed to beat Ed and Eddie, and now they're walking around with the tag team belts, and they attacked me when I ended up beating Matt McIntyre in that matchup. So, really, those are the guys that we want to beat, and if there was an opportunity for Jack and myself to fight for the tag team titles with me forfeiting number 1 contendership for the United States Championship, to be perfectly honest, sir, that would be more what I would want.
Well, I certainly do understand your reasoning, and I admire your loyalty there. I guess you and Jack have a little bit of unfinished business with the family, and with them holding the tag team title belts, that probably, I would think, adds to your motivation. So, you know what? In that spirit, you've got your match. And how about we do it at the PLE, Bash at Tatooine? William Turner, Jack Sparrow of the Black Pearl crew against Ed and Eddie, the current tag team champions of the family. Sounds good to me. William, appreciate you coming in here tonight. Congratulations on, again, holding that briefcase, and best of luck at Bash at Tatooine.
Thank you again, Commissioner Woody.
Josh, now what am I going to do for our number one contenders for the U.S. title? This makes my job a whole lot harder. Gosh darn it. Okay, well,
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Female Fighting Championship.
Let's see who the latest person is to answer Mulan's open challenge. And it looks like it's going to be none other than Snow White looking to claim her first championship here in FWE. My broadcast colleague Jack joins me here at the commentary desk now. Congratulations on your tag team victory earlier on tonight. Certainly got to be some good momentum for you going to Bash at Tatooine. Not only a victory, but a pinfall victory over the man you're facing, Carson Gum, for that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship.
Absolutely. You know, I always talk about in these matches how it can be really good momentum if you're able to get a pinfall victory over the guy that you're going to face for a belt. I'm feeling great right now, but I am feeling a little bit tired. That matchup went for quite a while, and taking that vertebraker on the outside of the ring certainly didn't help my cause.
Yeah, I'm certain that you winced. I winced for you. That gave me some nasty flashbacks for what Hades used to do out there.
Yeah.
We now turn our focus here at the Female Fighting Championship, and ever since Mulan was able to win the title, she has had a number of open challenges, knockout style matches. We kind of liken it to MMA or UFC style fighting, and it certainly seems to be a match type that plays to Mulan's strengths. So more often than not, it doesn't matter who comes out from behind that curtain and answers the challenge, we kind of put them at a bit of a disadvantage.
Absolutely. I kind of liken it to when Harley Quinn was defending the Hardcore Championship in Gotham Rules matchups. Kind of the same type of deal here. I mean, these are honestly even more brutal, though, because this has to end via a knockout. I mean, there's no pinfall, no submission, no DQ. You got to keep going until the other person cannot get back up and the referee calls for the belt. Also, speaking of referees, I think I owe Owens Wright an apology. I think
a couple of you guys owe him an apology right there.
Got a little bit crazy trying to get through the mass of humanity, trying to break up a pinfall or two, but set it down the microphone.
Introducing the challenger from the Renaissance, Snow White. And her opponent from the People's Republic of China, the Female Fighting Champion, the Asian Nightmare.
This will be the third time that the Female Fighting Championship has been defended in knockout rules, going back to Power Up when Mulan first won the title from Esmeralda. She would also defend the title against Kim Possible. Snow White, her second challenger in this open challenge for the belts.
And White's not somebody that we've really seen participate in these kind of hardcore style matchups, but that was a good start with that running knee.
Could very well be an interesting week and a half going forward if Mulan's able to retain the title in this matchup. We've got Jasmine, who's got an opportunity to win the women's hardcore title here tonight, and then this upcoming Saturday night at FWE Extra, number one contenders for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles are Belle and Rapunzel. They'll take on Team Let It Go. We could come back next Thursday night with a lot of gold around the waist of the faction of the Disney Queens.
Seems familiar, doesn't it?
It does, very much so.
And you notice those two were trading submission holds in the middle of the ring, but the referee was not checking the submissions because obviously it's a knockout match, so you can wear your opponent down, but you're not going to win via submission.
And this is, again, this type of a matchup is completely solely on referee's discretion. When he feels that a blow has been struck enough that the opponent is not going to be able to continue, he'll call for the bell. So to your point, we won't see submissions, we won't see pinfalls of any kind. It's basically just wear your opponent down as much as you can to get that one final knockout strike. Also, no disqualifications and no countouts, which is why you don't see referee Ernest Wright in any way invoking himself into this matchup currently. So anything is fair game out there, and with weaponry and everything that's outside of the ring, you could easily score a knockout blow that way.
The referee's going to break these two up here.
I'm not sure why. There's no disqualifications, so I don't know why, if you've got somebody locked up in the ropes, why that would force a break.
It was a bit of an interesting call there. Again, it's referee's discretion, so we're going to have to live with it either way, but it's still interesting. Nice drop there as the challenger down.
Mulan, of course, a former Women's Universal Champion. This is the second title she's held in FWE, and here come those kicks, those karate-type kicks. Of course, Mulan with that background in martial arts, and nice takedown there by Snow White.
Kind of a painful takedown there, using the weight of her head to bring her opponent down. Suplex there, that'll hurt the neck, back area of Mulan.
Now wrenching on the arm there of Mulan as well. Take away at least some of that offense. Both the upper and lower extremities of Mulan easily able to be used as weapons. You're able to take a couple of those weapons out of play. You can maybe not only level the playing field, but maybe gain an advantage here.
Definitely, I mean, whatever it takes to get a knockout.
Shot to the lower back by Mulan. Snow White in trouble right now. Mulan's been kind of in control for a majority of this matchup. One of those rare type of matchups as well where really there's not a champion's advantage, because it's just whoever ends up scoring that knockout blow, the title changes hands. A lot of times we'll end up seeing a champion go in with a type of advantage, walking in with the belt around their waist.
I mean, usually it really just depends on the match type as well. Sometimes you see a match like an Extreme Rules match or something for the title. Look out here.
On up top. Cross body scores. Oh, nice go behind. DDT on the floor.
I was going to say, I think Mulan might have been slowed down a little bit. Part of her leg might have caught one of the ropes on the way down.
After that DDT, you see a lot of the focus for Snow White is up on that head reach and try and knock Mulan unconscious. That would count as a knockout blow, and Snow White would be walking out of here with her first championship.
Mulan going to send her right back inside the ring. Again, going to call for Snow White.
Oh,
I thought
smart.
she was calling for Snow White.
Yeah, she was, but you see how Snow White she rolled away from the ropes. That way Mulan was not able to hit whatever she was going to plan, maybe a springboard type move off the ropes.
Basically forcing her opponent to get back in the ring here and enter this exchange of blows here in the center of the ring.
I'm not sure I agree about this if you're Snow White. Mulan's one of the best strikers on the women's roster. Oh!
For all those chops, she went with a kick, and that was effective. It brought Snow White down. And knee to the head. This has been all Mulan so far. Snow White, you know, she's had a few flashes. She's in trouble here, though.
Looking for ultimate dishonor. And I don't know how that wasn't a knockout blow right there.
I don't either. I mean, we're typically used to seeing that follow up by a pinfall or a submission attempt.
And that's going to do it. Falcon arrow right on the back of her head.
Here is your winner, and this female fighting champion.
All it took was that ultimate dishonor kick, and that set up the rest.
It really did. That was all it took. A huge kick and still move on. Your Hero of China female fighting champion.
Up next, how about this? A former Tri-Wizard champion against the current Tri-Wizard champion. It's RJ Bishop versus Dylan Young. Next.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Tucson, Arizona, weighing in at 228 pounds, the men's world champion, RJ Bishop.
Well, by the time we get to the Bash at Tatooine PLE, RJ Bishop will have held that Tri-Wizard Championship for over 100 days. 91 days coming into tonight as he gets ready to take on Dylan Young in one-on-one action. But you see coming out here beside him, Nick Gunther. We saw last week maybe the unthinkable Vicious and Delicious back as a tag team. They were successful over the Hurt Business, and Nick going to be in the corner of the Tri-Wizard Champion again here tonight. Mostly in the case of what's going to be happening at Bash at Tatooine, RJ Bishop taking on, once again, the Shadow Lord.
I mean, this card for Bash at Tatooine is already looking pretty stacked. I mean, I was just recently briefed on a segment that took place backstage while I was making my way back to the announce table recovering from that first matchup about how we have a tag team title match in place.
Black Pearl Crew, Jack Sparrow, and William Turn are going to take on Ed and Eddie of the Family for the men's tag team titles.
Representing the Thrill Seekers from Sarasota, Florida, weighing in at 220 pounds, Dylan Young.
We see Kyle Matthews coming out here with Dylan Young, the Thrill Seekers, a duo that have tried very hard here in the last month and a half to get themselves into the hunt for those men's Disney tag team titles. They've been unsuccessful as of late, though.
Yes, they have. They're certainly going to be doing their best, I feel like, whenever the opportunity does arise in the future to get another shot at those tag team titles. But for now, Kyle Matthews is going to be alongside, accompanying Dylan Young to the ring here in this matchup. You wonder how things will go in this matchup, too, because both the participants, being Dylan and RJ, going to have some buddies ringside, if you will.
Got some buddies ringside. I believe this is the first time RJ and Dylan have gone one-on-one, which is interesting because you and I both know they have an interesting relationship with each other. I guess we could kind of call them frenemies. It's hard to tell exactly how they feel about each other, but now whatever their feelings are, whether it be positive or negative, they're going to settle it out here between the ropes.
If they are, and you see RJ was going to work there, but Dylan going to throw him almost.
With one hand just threw RJ halfway across the ring. Dylan, of course, with the height advantage, standing at 6'7". RJ gonna have to rely on his speed and his quickness here to take down the bigger man. See Nick Gunther back there in RJ's corner. We saw him not only pick up a tag team victory with RJ Bishop last Thursday night, but this past Saturday night at FWE Extra settled an old score with Gaston picking up his first one-on-one victory since being back here in FWE as Dylan goes in for the cover on RJ and a kick out at 1.
Oh, I think RJ able to reverse that move, that Irish whip move by Dylan Young. Now he'll go for a springboard, does not connect.
Came up just a little short of the mark. And now Dylan Young gonna try and make the Triwizard champion pay. Mention about the fact both of these guys have held the Triwizard championship. Dylan Young 3 times, RJ currently holding the title. And you mentioned about that card that we've got for Bash at Tatooine. I mean, we're a little less than a month away and already it is piling up with incredible matchups. We mentioned that the men's Disney tag team titles, the Crew versus the Family, are gonna be on the line. My colleague Jack Mitchell just picked up a victory over Carson Gum in tag team action. Those two are gonna fight for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. Carlos Zimmerman, he takes on Dylan Poteet for the Intercontinental title. And then, of course, the big one of them all, RJ Bishop and the Shadow Lord. Gonna go one-on-one once again. Shades of what we saw them, the lengths they went to in that ambulance match. Triwizard title is on the line, but more so than that, if RJ wins, we finally have the revelation of the identity of the Shadow Lord. But if the Shadow Lord wins, the burger persona that RJ has found success with in the past will no longer exist in fantasy wrestling entertainment. As a GTS there by RJ, that's one of Dylan's moves, and Dylan kicks out.
It almost worked. He got a 2 count out of that after a pretty impressive mid-air reversal by RJ, so RJ's on fire in this matchup. Uh-oh. Could be going for the curly fry.
Hits it. Oh, now roll up. Roll up here by RJ. Shoulders down on Dylan. And RJ's gonna steal one.
Absolute thievery by RJ right there.
Dylan's in shock. He can't believe it.
Letting the referee know. Maybe he felt like that could have been a bit of a fast count there, but either way, his shoulders were down. Referee counted 3. That's the match.
Savviness of RJ Bishop picks up a victory over Dylan Young. And how about what we got up next? We've seen the alliance of Maleficent and Ursula, the Unholy Union. They get ready to take on the Black Pearl Crew in tag team action up next.
Be a really exciting matchup. Obviously, the Unholy Union looking to build up some more momentum as a tag team. Maybe, who knows, they could end up getting themselves with a tag team title picture one day. We'll have to wait and find out, but they take on the Black Pearl Crew coming up next.
Well, Jack, we saw the coming together of this duo last week as they took on Rapunzel and Belle in a #1 contenders match for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles. I don't want to be anywhere around these two backstage, but I've been told that this week, in that losing effort last week, they are in even more of a foul mood than they were before, if that can be believed.
I think it can be, honestly. honestly, because you think about, how dangerous these two are just by themselves, but then you add into the fact the anger from feeling that loss this past week, they're probably even more determined than ever to try to get themselves a victory here tonight.
As you mentioned before we went to that break, pick up a victory here tonight could very well make a case for themselves to start to enter into #1 contendership. We know that those Women's Disney Tag Team titles will be on the line this Saturday night. FWE Extra, Team Let It Go defending against the Disney Queens.
Bring me that horizon. And their opponents, Angelina King and Elizabeth Turner.
Been a while since we've seen Angelica teach in the ring, but teaming up with Elizabeth Swan here tonight, her fellow crew member, if you will. Elizabeth Swan, of course, we saw her at the Guardians of the Ring PLE, the runner-up, I guess we could say, the loser in the finals of the Guardians of the Ring tournament to Shuri.
She's been on quite a run as of late. Obviously, we've documented in the past her really long run with it was then known as the, it's now in the Universal Championship. It was known as the Women's World Championship of the Galaxy back when she was holding that title. 162 days as the champion.
Taking down Ursula here, looking for an early victory, and 2 counts in the early going of this. A little surprising that you'd have a powerhouse like Ursula down for 2, but again, as you said, that just kind of shows the strengths of Elizabeth Swan. She's just about done everything here in FWE.
She has.
Nice standing moonsault there by Angelica Teach. Heel kick's gonna take Ursula down, keeping the pressure here on the Sea Witch, and this is smart, because you know that more than likely the power advantage is going to go to the Unholy Union.
Absolutely, but again, we talk all the time about the power advantage. It doesn't necessarily matter if you can get your opponents down. The problem is moves like that are going to really get in your way.
Just chucked to the outside of the ring. Oh, and now mid-first into those steel steps. Mention about the fact that these two, Maleficent and Ursula, they are in a foul mood after losing that #1 contenders match last week. And they want the Black Pearl crew to be on the receiving end of that frustration. Massive slam by Ursula, and she's not done. Angelica Teach in a bad, bad way. Look at the height above the ring.
Oh, gosh.
We're talking nearly a 7-foot drop right there.
Kind of assert herself on the ring apron.
Not sure if maybe she was planning on going up to the top rope, maybe planning something from the outside. I think maybe her tag team partner Maleficent got in the way. Cover here off the Snake Eyes. Big power kick out there by Angelica.
I wasn't sure if Ursula was maybe calling for Angelica to get back to her feet and maybe going to go for a springboard attack of some sort, but either way, big headbutt. I'm going to go for the tag.
Now Maleficent makes her way in.
Immediately
early cover here, just off a kick to the lower back, and not even going to get a 1 count. I think more than likely Maleficent knew that wasn't going to be a victory, but I think that these two are very happy to play mental games as much as physical games.
And I mean, the mental advantage, when you achieve it early on in a matchup too, it can be demoralizing. You kind of have a lot that you need to fight through, and not going to help either physically getting shoved into both of those turnbuckle pads. Look at strength. This is ridiculous. A tag was made on the other side. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make right now.
Elizabeth Swan and Ursula, both the legal participants for their respective teams. Swan with a springboard senton, trying to keep Ursula down. Oh! Nails the splash on Ursula. And now going back up to the top rope again.
Another splash.
Another splash. Is that going to be enough to do it? And Maleficent is in to break it up. Uh-oh, we've seen this before. Oh my gosh. That massive driver of Ursula's. Calls that no surprise, the poor unfortunate soul. And Elizabeth Swann was the latest victim of that, is now receiving end of a corner clothesline.
The latest poor unfortunate soul.
And there have been a lot of them here in FWE ever since Ursula made her debut on the FWE roster. As Maleficent off the big splash going in for the cover. Lackadaisical cover there, had a forearm in the face, but didn't hook the leg, and that allowed Elizabeth Swann the leverage to kick out.
Spinning forearm, and now a stop while her opponent is on the ground. I mean, I didn't want to write off Elizabeth Swann when she was tagged into the matchup, and she kind of held her own when she was first tagged in, and now you can see the momentum is right back in the favor of the Unholy Union. Uh-oh.
Wow! The height and the distance of Maleficent on that splash, and gonna go back up, well, I thought was going to the top rope, instead on the second rope here. Ushering Swann to her feet, and didn't have to go very far there for that shoulder tackle. Uh-oh. Guillotine choke is in. The Dark Majesty is locked in. And Swann is down. No help for Angelica. Is she going to tap out?
I think Swann thought for a moment about trying to break it up. Instead, I think she actually let go of that hold. But now, Angelica Teach is in all kinds of trouble.
Oh, shot to the midsection. Maleficent's got her up. Looking for Dragon's Wings. Dragon's Wings connects. And Elizabeth Swann gonna break it up. That would have certainly been 3. Maleficent not gonna make the tag in here to Ursula. Angelica Teach is in a bad, bad way. She needs to get a tag here to Elizabeth Swann. Oh, another massive headbutt by Ursula.
Headbutts have been devastating.
Oh no.
This is in trouble.
Looking for the Kraken Crush.
Oh.
That has got to do it. Cover is in, and the Unholy Union pick up the victory.
Look at the way she was just sitting on top of her at the end of that matchup. I mean, that's how dominant they felt in this matchup to the Unholy Union. I think that they were about as powerful as they possibly could have looked in this matchup, and I mean, definitely keep these two in mind if there's any future tag team title opportunities.
A lot of times when you're coming off a loss, maybe it does something to your psyche and maybe makes you second guess yourself. I don't think that's the case with these two. I think their loss to the Disney Queens makes them more motivated than ever. Look out any future tag teams that they come across.
Coming up next, Autumn Brooks and Jasmine. Our main event, it's going to be for the Rotten to the Hardcore Championship on the women's side. Jasmine hanging on by a thread within the Disney Queens, but can she hold on? We'll have to find out coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's Hardcore Championship.
Disney Queen, they reign supreme. Living legends, not a bedtime dream.
Well, if ever somebody came into a title matchup with any type of pressure, this has to be an all-time high if you're Jasmine. We saw it last week Mulan gave Jasmine an ultimatum, said if you're able to pin Autumn Brooks, claim #1 contendership to the Hardcore Championship, then maybe, just maybe, your future in the Disney Queens will remain secure. However, if you are unsuccessful, I'm not responsible of the outcome. You see Ariel also accompanying Jasmine to ringside. She seems to be the only one that still has belief in Jasmine. The only reason that Jasmine is still in the faction tonight. A title win for Jasmine, the first of her career, could be her ticket to remain in the Disney Queens group.
It very well could be. And I mean, you know, in situations like this, I think one scenario I would bring up is maybe does she not win, but does she look good in the loss? I mean, obviously, I think it might be a little bit too late for that. She's come up short of so many different opportunities here in FWE as we've gone through these last few months. So I feel like nothing short of a win here for Jasmine tonight is going to keep her in the faction.
Oh, hold the phone!
Hello.
Jasmine's not the only one coming out with some backup. That's Disney Strong Style. Kita on the left, Esmeralda on the right, flanking the Hardcore Champion.
That makes things even more interesting because these two are the reasons why the Disney Queens faction were not holding the tag team titles for quite some time.
It's a great point. Ended up, some will say, kind of suckering the Disney Queens into defending the titles in an impromptu matchup. Disney Strong Style would eventually win those belts, which opened up the floodgates for everyone in the tag team division to once again fight for the belts, because about half, 3/4 of the roster had been locked out.
They were holding on to those tag team titles with an iron grip, and now Disney Strong Style, maybe, I don't think these were the two members that were involved in that title defense, but maybe nevertheless they're causing a bit of PTSD for these guys ringside. Send it to Mike Rome one more time.
Introducing the challenger from Babylon, the Diamond Princess. And her opponent from Richmond, Virginia, the Women's Hardcore Champion, Danny Brooks.
Autumn Brooks has held on to that Women's Hardcore Championship after defeating Jessica Shelton for now 55 days. Looking to keep her title reign going. However, let's consider this as well. Jasmine has a pinfall victory over Autumn this past Thursday night. Now granted, Autumn has a tag team victory over Jasmine this past Saturday, but it wasn't Autumn who got the pinfall. It was a submission victory that Anthony got on Aladdin. So in terms of momentum, is it equal, or do you think that Jasmine has a little bit of an edge?
Well, Jasmine's going to go into the cover here, kick out before one. I feel like Jasmine does have the edge there because you have a pinfall victory the last time that these two ended up in the ring together. So, you know, it was, yes, there was the tag team victory for Jasmine, or for the Rockers, excuse me, but neither of them were involved in the decision of that matchup. So I feel like their momentum, as we got another cover. My sentences keep getting interrupted by these covers. Another kick out at one.
Usually in a title match, you come in the challenger, there's certainly a sense of motivation. With these early covers by Jasmine, you can certainly sense some desperation creeping in as well.
Absolutely. Jasmine, I feel like, is in this flurry of offense right now for no reason other than she feels like she absolutely needs to do whatever she can to get this win. Heat-seeking elbow connects. Ariel took one of the top turnbuckle pads off.
Yes, she did. Getting involved here in this matchup, maybe trying to gain an advantage for Jasmine, who's going to work on that leg of Autumn Brooks. Another early cover here by the challenger and a kick out at one. It's interesting. You kind of think about the ultimatum of this matchup. It makes me think back to Paramount. Autumn Brooks better have Anthony McCrory. Oh! Bounced off that exposed turnbuckle, but
Again.
remember back to that matchup when Anthony was basically given the ultimatum that if he ended up losing, he was out of the family. It's kind of the same scenario here for Jasmine. As that turnbuckle, that exposed turnbuckle, has come into play here in this last couple of seconds.
Both competitors' foreheads have been driven into that top turnbuckle pad, or into that exposed top turnbuckle repeatedly. Oh, we got the lid of a trash can now. I mean, this is going to be madness. I mean, it is a hardcore match, but
Yeah,
still.
exactly. I mean, anything goes. That's why you didn't see the referee go back and put that pad on the turnbuckle. Anything goes. All weaponry is allowed. Mulan's got a kendo stick now, going to deposit that inside of the ring.
Oh! Oh, gosh.
Missed that leg drop. Tailbone can get completely jarred out of place with that impact to the floor, and then a trash can lid to boot from Jasmine.
To your earlier point, I mean, the Disney Queens maybe haven't directly said it, but I think it is, the case here. It certainly has the vibe of if Jasmine can't win, she might be removed from the faction altogether.
I also find it very interesting. Ariel was the one that went to Commissioner Woody, set up the matchup last week for Jasmine to face off against Autumn Brooks. Oh! Facebuster there by Jasmine. It's kind of interesting that she has Jasmine targeting the hardcore champion. Why is that interesting? Ariel herself is a former hardcore champion, so you gotta think she gave Jasmine some pointers coming into tonight's match.
Oh, code red there. Flying right now in this matchup. Doesn't connect though, just barely missed that springboard off the top rope.
Now Jasmine looking to take advantage of the situation. Irish whip. Well, might have been looking maybe for a half Boston Crab of some kind. Autumn fights out of the situation. Again, we talked about the scenario here. Oh, big boots. I couldn't tell if that hit the forehead or maybe the chin area. But Mulan successfully defended the Female Fighting Championship earlier tonight against Snow White. Oh my gosh!
my.
Top rope DDT by Jasmine, and the challenger's in control. We know that this Saturday night, Rapunzel and Belle, hold on, cover here off the big knee under the jaw by Jasmine. Oh, and a kick out at 2.5.
That was almost it.
But we know that Rapunzel and Belle, they get a shot at Team Let It Go for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles. If Jasmine wins the belt here tonight, if the Disney Queens are successful next week, they could have a lot of gold coming into next episode on Thursday night, as I believe there was another top turnbuckle exposed, and Autumn Brooke went throat first into it.
These two have been going into these top turnbuckles at high speeds, and then they're also being thrown in or thrusted into it by these various moves, kicks to the back, pushes to the back, things like that. So, guys, nobody's really been busted open just yet. That could change soon, though.
Jasmine in control again, looking to win her first title here in FWE, the only member of the Disney Queens that has not won a title.
Not won a title, came up short in the ladder match at Power Up, so I mean, knees to the throat there. This is kind of all bets are off here. We keep talking about it. Jasmine absolutely has to win this one in order to keep herself in good standing with the rest of her faction.
Top rope, looking for Desert Wind, scores it! Is that enough for Jasmine to win her first belt here in FWE? She did it!
Here is your winner, and now, Women's
You can see the emotion etched on Jasmine's face. Her first belt, but more so than that, she will still remain a Disney Queen.
Incredible stuff here from Jasmine. Had to come up huge here tonight, and she absolutely did so. Finally holding her first title belt in FWE.
Jasmine makes good. Finally has a belt for the first time in her career. What an incredible night here in FWE. We'll see you guys this Saturday night at FWE Extra as we draw closer to Bash at Tatooine. Good night, everybody.
Hey man, congrats on your win tonight.
Thanks. Gotta be honest, I'm not sure if I could trust you at the beginning or not. but I really do appreciate you being in my corner.
Hey, man, like I said, I got your back.
Ah! Nick? Nick?